Yeah, it's gotta be portrait. Well, that kind of sucks. How does that click? Yes, it's gotta be this way, which is annoying. But I guess if that's how it's gotta be, that's how it's gotta be. Can I have the comments going up on the screen? Why is my phone not staying in this thing? Oh hey dude, hey, the comments are coming back up on the screen. I don't like that, but I don't like the way this camera has to be. It has to be portrait, and it's not equal. It's not equally in. Hang on. I'm just trying to fix this up. Well, hello! Thanks for joining, Kermit and Anarchy. Sorry, I'm blocking it up because I'm trying to get the phone to kind of stay in the tripod, and it's not set up well. The phone has to be I keep saying landscape, portrait. I just ordered my first 4K Blu-ray, so that's good. It's cool. Yeah, I'm actually curious what title. I want to find out now. Whoop. I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you for asking. I am feeling better. Nice. That's weirdly enough a 4K that I was really interested in trying to purchase. So that's really cool. I think I'm gonna have the live chat coming up on the computer as well. Just because the comments are coming up on the screen. I don't know if you guys see that. They're coming up on the screen, but obviously I think you might be seeing that. But it's just the only reason is they come up and then the comments kind of fade. So I want to be able to Alright, you guys can't see it on the screen. Okay. Well, thanks for letting me know, Kermit, though, because like, they come up on the screen, but then they fade off. So, at least this way, I can actually read the comments still while doing this. Kermit Goose, how is Alice? She has not put up a video for a little while. Yeah, no, she's trying. She is trying to put up videos a bit more often. The reason I'm going to say names is just so I think Donstar said that due to the stream, if you can't see people's comments come up on the screen, it's best to just say the name of who's writing the comment and then read the comment so that everyone kind of gets an idea of who's saying what. So I'm sorry. I probably won't say Kermit's Ghost. I'll probably just say Kermit and Anarchy. That way, just so everyone knows who it is instead of saying the full names and that. Otherwise, I think everyone will get tired of me saying everyone's name throughout the stream. Wow, vertical. Hey, Alan. Yeah, I'll say Alan if you want me to. Alan's cool. I like referring by name. Hey Trini, thanks for joining. Dennis, thanks for joining. But yeah, Alice is alright. Alice is okay. She just she said she might make a little announcement towards the end of the stream, so she might do it. I may have to find a new tripod head though, because the one that I'm using is that generic one that you get from like Poundland shops and stuff, and for some reason my phone just won't stay like in the tripod properly, and it's even more difficult when the phone is portrait. It's even a lot more harder to do it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try and find a new way to do that. But yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't do the stream yesterday. That's because it's Poundland. So don't get me wrong. Sometimes Poundland can do some good stuff, but when it comes to like things that you want to kind of rely on, they tend to be really bad. They're good for the stuff you don't need. I can't wait to get that 4K Blu-ray player, man. I can't wait to see how good it is. Speaking of which, I know Dennis is going to be so angry about this, but I managed to actually sell the 4K Logan. I still got my Blu-ray copy, but the 4K version is gone. Just because I'm probably not, like, my sister and her family have actually moved out, so they're no longer in the house anymore. So she's taken her 4K player with her because it's her Xbox. So I don't really have a way to watch 4K movies at the moment, and I'm not that fussed about it. Well, I called you out on Facebook, so I knew you would take a look. Yeah, you did. I'll give you credit. You did. As soon as you saw it up and you recognized the face and the name, you were like, "Yeah, okay, let's just get rid of it." But in fairness, I don't mind. I can still see Logan. I can still watch it. The Blu-ray still looks good. So I'm kind of impressed by that. But I'm sorry I couldn't do the stream yesterday. Me and Omar, we were talking via Google Hangouts for like half an hour or so, and we were trying to work out a way to do a Google Hangouts, but streaming it to both of our channels. And we were struggling to do it, and while I was doing it, we'd gotten off Hangouts, and I was going through all these videos and tutorials on how to do it, and I thought I'd have something to eat, because I was stressing, because I'd only had like 2 hours before my live stream started. So I thought I'd have something to eat, get some energy in me. But whatever I ate yesterday, it just instantly hit me, and I just felt sick. My eyes was just red watering. I felt hot and cold at the same time, like my heart was cold, but my chest was hot. Just felt really dizzy, really sick. I couldn't see. But I didn't want to just not stream and not let you guys know that there was no stream that night. So I had to try and record a very quick video. And then practically after I stopped commenting on Omar's stream, I just went straight to sleep. I couldn't stay awake. My head was pounding. I've still got a headache today, which I've taken. No. Oh, the only food items I buy from Poundland are gold bars. Just because I would get them from other shops, but you get the triple pack for £2, whereas they're £1 for a pack of 6. I wish October would hurry up already. Me too! That's the month that we get Wonder Woman in 3D, man. It's not fair. And it's also announced that we're supposed to get Terminator 2 Judgment Day 3D in October as well. That's when Cameron is deciding to release it in the UK. Apparently, it's what I've heard. It's what people have shown me. So I want October to hurry up. Because I want Wonder Woman in 3D, because that's the best way to watch the film. And I also want T2. But as I've said, with me and Alice, we've got our tickets. I'm getting T2 on 4K. That's not too bad. But we've got our tickets to go and see T2 in 3D in the cinemas. I'm currently hiding the tickets in my Terminator Genesis case. It's so that I know where they are. And by the way, no, I may be drinking out of this, but this is still tea. It's not coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker. Yesterday, Alice got me something from Starbucks. just got me a caramel popcorn frappuccino, and I forgot to say no coffee, and they put a shot of espresso in it, and I was like, "Ugh." And yes, Alan, I have seen it, and I actually want to talk about it before Omar a little gets in because he hates the idea of the movie existing. But I have seen it, and I'll get a bit more into it. Dennis, don't let mental stay alone in your room. Then the tickets will probably be gone. He wants to go see it too, but obviously, baby George being born, he's got priorities, and I can totally understand that. Yes, Ghost in the Shell does have great 3D, but I was really not enjoying the movie. I probably will still do a review on it, but from what I watched it, I couldn't finish the movie. Although I will say that on the same day I watched it, me and Alice were having a really bad day. A lot of stuff was going wrong. We was watching it in parts because it had to keep getting paused. So by the time we actually got around to watching more of it, we just kind of lost interest. So I will give it a rewatch, but from what I've seen, it doesn't seem like an enjoyable movie. But who knows, I may change my opinion. I still haven't seen it yet. Please don't mess it. No, no, no. I'm not going to give away spoilers. I won't do that. Don't worry. I'm not that kind of person. There are people who will do that, but I'm not one of them. Don't worry. And in fairness, I can't even like remember half the movie. I can't even give you information on it. To be fair, like I said, I didn't really get into it, so don't worry. I won't do it. Not that kind of person. But it does have great 3D, and I'm glad it's full frame. I'm glad that the 3D is good. I'll give it that. My lips are sealed. Yeah. See, like, yeah, we're not those kinds of people. We're not known as the Facebook trolls who, as soon as a new movie comes out, will just instantly go, BAM! This happens. I hate when people do that. It drives me mad because the worst bit is I've got someone who tags me in it. Dennis. What? What is it? She'll tell them that. Well, they already know. I've told them before. No, Alice has this thing where when she does like reviews or when she wants me to watch a certain movie, she will tell me everything about the movie to make me want to watch it, and then it's kind of like you've already just told me everything, but I still watch it anyway. Do you know what? I actually tried looking that up, that Operation Dumbo Drop, because I saw you guys talk about it before, and I wanted to see what it was. I typed it up, and I'm not even joking. I don't know why, but a video came up of an African tribe dancing around a fire. I thought this isn't obviously it, so I just left it. So, yeah, so I have no idea. Like, see, I want to get all those Disney movies, but they're way too expensive, and I don't see, I can't buy them when they're that expensive. In fairness, I don't have a lot of money at the end of every month. I only have enough to buy the movies that I really want to watch. That's why you don't see me picking up every movie that, because I know that FK Vlogs and sometimes other YouTubers, they'll go out and pick up every single release that comes out on the day it comes out. I can't do that unless it's movies I really want to watch. I have sold my soul to the devil. Yeah, yeah. In fairness, I think anyone who collects movies has already done that in a way. Because it's when you get tempted to just buy, it kind of not supposed to give in to temptations, but yet we do it on a daily basis. Oh, I loved Honey I Shrunk the Kids. That was a great movie. It's where Nicolas Cage got his inspiration for Wicker Man. Peace. You got the little boy with the glasses. Peace. I reckon Nicolas Cage watched that movie before he did the filming for Wicker Man. Not the bees, not the bees, my eyes. Oh. When I first started doing my own videos, I went ham buying movies I not always wanted, but I just had to have something to show off as often as possible, and still paying for it in. Oh damn, sorry man. But in fairness, if you enjoy, I guess that's always the good thing. If you're collecting just for the sake of collecting, like then obviously that's going to be where it's a downfall. But if you obviously enjoy collecting as well, and if you do have that passion to just have the movies, then that's great. So for me, originally, collecting movies wasn't OCD. Doctors actually confirmed it. I couldn't go out at all unless I came home with movies. My family started getting quite scared because, like, it's gonna sound really weird, but obviously, because I'm quite a stouty person, instantly everyone just assumed that my money went on food. No one realized that I could eat at home. I don't need to buy food out. So like my friends always go, "Oh, come shop. We'll get some food. Or we'll get some chicken or something." And I'm like, "But there's a cash converter right there." So I'd walk in, and this is at the age where I was at school and I was getting not a lot. I wouldn't say a lot more money now, but I was getting money for a lot, and I was spending up to £50 to £100 nearly a week in cash converters, and I'm spending up £50 to £100 on, and I wasn't collecting Blu-rays. I was only collecting DVDs, but at this point, I was getting DVDs from up to £1 to £2 a movie. Hey, fantastic Mr. Flicks, thanks for joining. But like I was spending 50 to 100 a week on just DVDs, and I was coming back with like double the amount because they had deals like it's like 20 DVDs for £8, 50 DVDs for 12, and it was just like these constant deals. So I was always in there. Every time they got new stock, I just raided the shelves. Um, I did a video like my collection so far. I think it was like like increase and decrease or increasage decreasage, where I showed my old collection, which is where I had like 4 bookcases of DVDs and 1 bookcase of half DVDs, half Blu-rays. I had a lot bigger collection a few years back. Um, so at the time it was OCD. I could not go if I didn't buy a movie for an entire week. I felt like really depressed. First, money is an issue. Then it's the space. Yes, space to put them. Oh my god, just dropped 157 last night on 88 films. Nice. But see, like that's the point. It's like for me, I struggle because now collecting isn't so much of an issue. It's when they try and put too many movies in one go. That's when I struggle. That's when I have issues to get what I want from it. That's why now I just buy the occasional ones. Films should be in smaller cases. I actually had an issue with the thin cases. I have it as you guys know OCD again. I have issues with cases that aren't the regular like UK circle and square cases. But yeah, Alan, after watching your videos, I kind of agreed with you when you said that the UK movies should just be in CD. Do you know what? Yeah, that even that. I mean, do you remember? I don't know if anyone remembers this, but PSP games, and they had UMDs, which were like little DVDs for the PSP. Those cases are like this big. They're like this long, but they're like this small. Like, and the discs were like this tiny. It's kind of cool. But I agree with the thin cases thing. Like all Blu-ray should be in the thinner cases, because it's true. I mean, if you look at it one way, the thinner cases, it's like two per one. I've been cleansing my collection recently by selling a lot of shit, as I want to start exploring Criterion films and indie horror. Oh, nice. I say it's kind of weird though. Like UK cases are just too thick. There's absolutely no reason for them to be that thick. Just a lot of wasted space unless there's a booklet. I also guess that's true. But the only problem is I couldn't see myself like printing off new sleeves and buying a lot of thin cases just to put these movies in now. If I like just started collecting, then that would be the more safer move. But I have a lot more regular size cases compared to the thinner cases, and in fairness, I don't want to have to print out like sleeves for every single movie I own just in order for it to happen. Um, so I can kind of understand that. I'm gonna have to get a new bookcase at some point because I don't have that much space left on this at all. And I know that I said that once this shelf gets full, that's it. I'm done collecting. But I think every collector has that point. No eco cases in the UK. That's true. The only problem with the eco cases is they're too flimsy. They break so easily, and sometimes they can break just by opening. I remember I got was it a US release? I got it sent here, and it was sealed brand new. I just opened the case, and because it opened, the plastic just fell apart. I was like, huh. So I had to replace it. But I'm gonna try and give Ghost in the Shell another watch. Plus, I've also got the last two of these to watch. I've got the last two of these to finish. So I've got to do that. Reviews for these will be up next week. It probably won't be up anytime like within the next 2 days, but they'll probably be up next week at some point. Because I do want to finish this series of movies off. I want to see The Last Crusade, and I want to see Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. You in this was. Do you know what the weirdest thing is? It's oh, I don't have a fear of flies. Yeah, who in their right mind told you indie? I've seen a lot of YouTube videos where people say The Last Crusade isn't that great. That's why I was under the. I know everyone says Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is the worst, but I've heard about 7 to 8 YouTubers say that Last Crusade was terrible. So I just assume that that might be the case. But I haven't got a fear of flies. Like, I know it seems like it. I haven't got a fear of flies at all. And if you live in the UK, there are tons of the damn things. You get used to them. But I have a problem with the fact that these actors are just. It proves how great of actors they are. Because even though I was studying acting and I wanted to be an actor, if I had a fly crawling on my face, I'd instantly just go. Or I'd scream because it'd be irritating. But it's the fact that it landed on the guy's lip, and as it crawled up, the guy just went and sucked it in. And then the woman ate food after one landed on her food. Ugh. I cringe very easily, and I see things that are disgusting. I cringe. It just makes me feel horrible. Like, because even though I know it's not me doing it, I feel disgusting. Well, not period. Okay, fair. I'm still gonna watch it. I'm hoping to enjoy it. Cause I know Omar Little sent me a link to Stuckman's review about action movies. That's why I asked you if you own The Fly on Blu-ray. Oh God, I've seen The Fly though, the original, because I remember the whole "help me, help me." I remember that. Made me laugh for like 2 or 3 years. Um, all the first three are certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Three has an 88% score, higher than the second one. In fairness, I actually really enjoyed the first two. I actually have enjoyed them, which is weird because I've seen trailers to them before, and they look like they were going to be boring as hell, but they're actually really enjoyable, which I like. I like the idea that they've proven me wrong because it shows that you can't always trust the trailers. Whereas usually I trust the trailers over anything. Um, but no, I probably wouldn't own The Fly on Blu-ray. No. I get very weird with certain things. But Alice has actually just pre-ordered a steelbook for the end of this month. I'm not going to say which steelbook it is. I'm going to leave that surprise up to her to show either on a video or to talk about. When I saw you do it for the first one, I did kind of come as you don't really like it much. I have to read it on here now because it fades from the screen. It doesn't give me time. Sorry. When I saw your video for the first one, it did kind of come off as you not really liking it much and only gave it an A because you knew how much people... No, see that's the thing. I'm actually really honest when it comes to movies. As you guys, I'm not going to get into it, but as you guys know with The Mist, trying to think of other movies like like I said, The Godfathers. I really don't want to watch them movies because I have seen Godfather 1 before. I haven't watched the whole movie, but I watched like 45 minutes of it and I just really didn't like it, so I put myself watching the whole series. We'll see. No, I'm not talking about The Mist today. I refuse. But the whole point is, I'm very honest when it comes to how much I hate movies. I love to do Mine Can't Chase Us. Yes, it was. It was actually just it was a really funny movie, but the woman just drove me insane. Like that. We're crashing. And it's the fact that every 2 minutes she was shouting Indy's name. Like every 2 minutes. It's like, ugh, woman, please. I know you're in distress, but he can't always save you. It was just driving me mad. But I loved it, and I did enjoy them both. And nah, I said if I really didn't enjoy these movies, I would have said I done the same for Pan's Labyrinth. I know that Pan's Labyrinth has a massive following, but I absolutely hated the movie, and I made it clear how much I'm not a fan of Pan's Labyrinth at all, in any way. Um, so I mean, I'm not that kind of person. I can't do that. But in fairness, the reason I look like for the past two Indiana Jones reviews, the reasons I look like I may not have enjoyed them is because I'd only had before watching Indiana Jones, the first one, the Raiders of the Lost Ark, I'd only had 3 hours sleep in about 5 to 6 days. I was so tired but couldn't sleep, so that's why I watched it. Was because I was awake. I thought I might as well start watching them. When you try and record a video on 3 hours between 5 or 6 days, you don't feel up to being all like, yeah, but you're more like how I was, which was just you don't feel like having the energy to talk about it in as such detail, which is not fair because the movies do deserve great reviews, and I'll probably at some point just do like newer reviews based on it, like review point two, like when I get more enthusiasm, I've had more sleep, and I can actually rewatch them and enjoy them a lot more than I did watching the first time. But for now, I give the reviews the best I can because it's just when, in fairness, we're not sleeping that well. It's very difficult to sleep well. I mean, we're practically always ill. There's not really a day where we feel good. We've always got colds. We're always sick. We've always got headaches. So it's difficult to always be 100% like enthusiastic. But there will be a time. Hey, Movie Mouth, thanks for joining. So busy with the family, but thought I'd say hi. Oh, well, sorry that obviously you got stuff going on and that, but I'm glad you could still join in to say hello for now. That's great. And I watched your videos earlier, and I love them, so I'm glad that you did them. And I like the CX out and about. Your CX looks like it's got a ton of great movies. Like, our local CX has just had the same stuff in for the past 3 months. There's nothing really enjoyable and new, which I'll get to afterwards, because as you can see back here, I know obviously this is the Indiana Jones, but there's a few like movies that I want to go through, like newer movies. I thought instead of doing a pickup video, I'll just show them in the live stream. So I've been lifting the sofa backwards and forwards and stuff, so I think I've pulled my shoulders out. I can't bend them that quite far back anymore, just since I've been lifting the sofas. Is your local CX Rathbone, please? Wow. Technically, it's a local one. We've got three. We've got Rathbone Place, Tottenham Court Road, and a place called Stratford City. We're basically in the centre of all three. It's easy to get to all of them. Rathbone and Tottenham Court Road are literally behind each other. Like, it's kind of weird, they're actually behind one another. So, like, here's Tottenham Court Road. You go a couple of blocks down, and then this is where Rathbone one is. So, they're really close. But they both have a lot of differences. I mean, I've told Alice this, and she knows this as well. I love the Rathbone Place one because they've actually got a shelf just for 3D Blu-rays and just for 4K Blu-rays. So when you go in looking for a specific one, whether it's standard, 4K, or 3D, you've got your own shelf, and I love that. I have been to both those. They're not the biggest CEXs. They're quite small, but they do tend to hold a lot of really good stuff. I will give them that. Yeah, they are. They're great. I said them. Yeah, they're tiny places, but they hold a lot of great movies. There's been some stuff that I've never been able to find to my local one, and they've held some really good movies in there. So I was quite happy with that. It's where I found my Blade Runner for like £5 or £6, and when I go to the one that's closer, whenever I used to go to that one, it was always £8 to £10. So I know it doesn't sound like it's much of a difference, but for me, it's a big difference. What's that? Oh, I think that was. Oh yeah, it was. Stuff signing out on my computer. Can't wait though. Beginning of September, it's gonna be start off to it's gonna start off great because Guardians of the Galaxy 2 3D is getting released. Uh, any of you guys never thought about doing a meetup if you're close to that one? Meetups are always a great idea. Meetups are always good. Um, Obviously, the only person I've kind of done one with is Mental Movie Man. That's just because he's down my road. Like, he lives about 10 minutes away from me. And we've been great friends for, I think, we've been great friends since 2008 or 9. Um, so, yeah. And we've always lived quite close. Other than that time, like, I moved to Worcester with Alice for a few months. Which we're planning to move back. We might not even be in London by at least halfway through next year. And if we are, then unfortunately we will still be here. But we're hoping to actually be in Worcester by next year. So I'm looking that way just because Alice is playing Sims. And she's building stuff. And I'm like, when there's no comments coming from, ever been to Brighton? Oh yeah, I've been to Brighton. We used to go from 2006 up until 2011, I think. We used to go every year on August 18th because it was the anniversary of my brother's passing. So we'd all go down to the beach and like we'd say something to him, and we'd just have a day out as a family thing. And then after a while, obviously, the family started doing their own things and stuff, so then the trips just kind of stopped. And then me and Alice, we went on our second year anniversary kind of time when we met. First year went to Southend, and then second year it was Brighton. I've gone a few times. I love the BBC shop down there. Love it. First time I went, tons of Doctor Who stuff. I just wanted to raid my sister's purse. I was quite young when I first went, so I just wanted her to buy me everything. There was like this. There was like the Daleks in the window, and a K9. I was like, I want it. It's half the size now. Aw, that sucks. Sucks. Aw, I like the brush up. The best moment I had of being in Brighton was we came across this cafe that's like just down the road from the train station, and there was this couple that had the world's tiniest dog on the table, and the dog, I'm not even joking, the dog was about this big, and it was just hopping around the table, and it climbed into the guy's pocket in his shirt, and it was just like so amazing. It was the first time I'd ever seen a dog that tiny. And we'd had quite a bad day actually, because I think someone that came with us had caused an argument or a problem, and it was stressing the family out. So we just all wanted to go home. We didn't want to be near these people anymore. They were going to go home at a different time. We didn't want to get on the same coach. But it cheered us up. We saw this cute little dog, and it was amazing. But it's nice down there. I'll tell you one thing that I love about Brighton. One thing I absolutely love about it is the old and new race cars that are on the road every 5 to 10 minutes. I love them. I love like sports racing cars and stuff like that. It's amazing. I know there's like an American diner somewhere there, and there was a giant like Mustang outside, and I got my picture taken next to it, and I loved it. I sent a text to my mom saying, "Oh, I just got a picture taken next to an American muscle," and my mom went, "Stop groping him and let him go." She misunderstood the fact that American Muscle was the car. So I was really happy, and then I got the text, and I was like, oh, she doesn't know what I mean. And I just got really sad. That's Black Lion Street. Oh, it's awesome. No, we do want to go back. We was meant to go for our anniversary, but tickets just got too expensive, and I think there was heavy rain, as you warned us there was going to be, and we ended up just like we went to Nando's. It was her first time ever going to Nando's, so I had to make that a thing. If you do pop in for a coffee, I probably will. Thanks for the offer, though. Yeah, I will do. It's nice though. It's a nice place. I know. Obviously, everyone, no one seems to believe about this, but where everyone lives, because you've lived there for so long, you tend to not like it as much. Like I hate living here. I've lived here practically my entire life, um, and I hate London so much. I can't stand the place. But everyone keeps telling me, "Oh, London's amazing. We should go visit London." It's like, why? But then I realised that everyone who lives where they live do the exact same thing. I go like, "Oh, that place must be amazing," and everyone's like, "It's not that great." Then I was 17. Oh, that's cool. Thing is, I love the sound of seagulls. I know you. I know you. Obviously, you don't like it. Hate where I grew up. I think that's common though. Hating where you grow up. I think it's just because you go through so much as a kid where you are. Wherever you grow up, when we're growing from a child up to your teens, you go through so much. You just don't want to be reminded of what's here. And there's so much. There's so much always left behind in your past growing up, and you tend to just want to get away from it. Which is why I want to go to Worcester because it's so quiet. It's so peaceful. It's actually not a busy place. And it's next to a coast. It's next to like lots of fresh water in the sea, so we get nice breezy air there. Everyone's really friendly. I mean, I didn't even know half the shopkeepers. Our first day there, we went into the shops and people just went, "Oh, hello, you must be new." It's like, well, yeah. Like they knew for a fact that we weren't from there, and they were nice about it. I made friends with tons of people in Worcester, and it was sad when we had to say goodbye to them all. It was mostly shopkeepers. So it's kind of hard to trust whether they were your friends or whether it's because they were losing money. But the weirdest thing is actually a really sad moment for me and Alice. Like it upsets us every time we talk about it. But they had a hobby shop down there known as like the Worcester Superdrome, and it's where they sold like NECA figures and Yu-Gi-Oh collectibles and stuff like that. And we made great friends with these two people, like a brother and sister that worked in it, because it's a family-run store. And I was doing Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments in there. I was buying tons of Gears of War figures, buying tons of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And I said to them we had to come back to London, and they started crying. And I felt really bad. Right, Mr. Flex, I've had shitty experiences with London. I live in a seaside town, which is good in the summer, but no snow in the winter. Oh, that sucks. We haven't had snow here for a while. I miss snow. I love snow. London is not a great place to go at all. It's too busy. There's too much crap down here. Like there's too many attacks now, and they're happening really close, really locally to where we are. And it kind of drives us to the point of not wanting to go out because we have a fear. We're afraid, and like to go out. If we go out, something might happen. And it can happen anywhere. It doesn't have to be just London. You can be anywhere and be afraid to leave your door. But it doesn't help at the fact that people are making you feel like you don't have a choice. You know what I mean? Like, it's just getting really bad now here. we're hoping to go back to Brighton just for the day or so, just to spend some time on the beach and just enjoy being away from here for the day. I made two people leave. I think they didn't like the conversation about not liking London. What was the last film any of you watched at the cinema? Oh, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Oh, I want to see Valerian. It's technically like the sequel to Fifth Element. I want to see it. It technically fits in the same universe. Cars 3. Oh, was Cars 3 good? I'm actually a fan of the Cars movies. I want to know if it's good. I actually like both of them. Dunkirk. I haven't seen that yet either. $3D Dennis. It was my favorite of the three, surprisingly good. Oh, that sounds so good! That means I won't be angry when I watch it or buy it. That makes me happy. I am actually intrigued to find out whether or not Valerian has great 3D, because I've heard it's got amazing 3D. So I'm hoping that there is some proof and evidence to that. I actually want to see Cars 3 in 3D as well, because I've seen the first two and they were amazing. Valerian is nowhere near as bad as people say it is, but yeah, I didn't really care for the 3D in it. Wasn't that many places where it mattered at all. Dunkirk was awesome, but violated my ears. Any news on a Dunkirk Blu-ray release? I can always have a check. I mean, I'm next to a computer anyway. I like Nolan and war movies, but I just haven't had any interest in Dunkirk whatsoever. Hope to see Annabelle soon. Oh, I can't watch Annabelle. But I'm the same. I'm not really a big war movie person. Um, by the looks of things, I think that's the original Dunkirk is being released on September 25th. Chris, that's the book. Oh, that's because it came up in books. Why did it come up in books? That's horrible. I didn't type in books. Did anyone see 47 meters down? No. I haven't seen 47 meters down. I've heard it's not that great. But I like things like that. I mean, I love Sanctum. Sanctum was a freaking amazing movie. I don't know if anyone has seen Sanctum. But it's a great movie, and the 3D for it as well is also awesome. Yeah, there's nothing about the actual movie of Dunkirk, the new one, at all. Acting was bad, but I was pretty scared. See, I haven't seen it. Sanctum in 3D was it? Yes, totally agree. James Cameron, in my heart, is a 3D legend because he knows how to get every movie he wants in 3D to look like A plus material. I do not like Titanic, but like I'm not a big fan of the movie. But watching that in 3D made me enjoy it so much more. You know, you see the Titanic coming out of the TV, but you get the nice big in-depth image of the ocean, which is beautiful. And I haven't watched Ghost of the Abyss all the way through, but it's an underwater It's a docu-movie of when they go back under the water and explore the wreckage, and it's beautiful. Sanctum, beautiful. Avatar, even more beautiful. And Terminator 2 is going to be in full frame in the cinemas, and it's going to be 3D. So I'm hoping that he can just continue on with his work and make it amazing. Because that movie already had so much to offer as a movie on its own. Throwing 3D on top of it is just going to make it probably one of the best 3D action sci-fi movies to exist. I get very passionate when 3D gets mentioned. Do you think we'll see aliens in 3D? I think it's rumored. I think he said that if this is a success, we're gonna get The Abyss in 3D. He's finally. I think he said he's either gonna do True Lies in 3D or just release True Lies on Blu-ray. But if he does convert Aliens to 3D, I reckon it's gonna look amazing. I know I shouldn't, but I have no worries about going to see Terminator 3D in cinemas. Like, usually when you go and see a 3D movie in cinemas, you get worried that it's not going to look great. And same when you buy it when you come home. When you buy the Blu-ray release, there's always a 50-50 chance it's going to suck. But with Cameron, I never have a doubt now. I have no doubts. All of his movies are full frame in 3D, and all of them are 50-50 in depth and pop out. He doesn't miss a trick. He doesn't miss anything with his 3D movies. I trust him 100%. So if he ever was to announce Aliens would get a 3D release on Blu-ray, it'd instantly be purchased. I would pre-order that the second it gets announced. He knows his stuff. I can't fault the man. He knows exactly what he wants to do and how he wants to show the world. Cameron don't own the rights to Aliens as far as I know, so I would say highly unlikely. Fair enough. I mean, if that's the case, then, you know, his Terminator ride in Universal 3D was amazing. See, that's the thing. He is awesome. He's one of the best makers of 3D to date. Like, I watched Michael Bay do like a YouTube thing, like a documentary on YouTube about how he made The Last Knight Transformers, how he makes the 3D work. Now, I will say something. Oh, hey, Anarchy, thanks for joining back. It's alright. No, say sorry, it's alright. I understand sometimes the internet can kick off and that. But yeah, I saw Michael Bay talk about how he's filming the Transformers movies all in IMAX. It's going to be the best 3D ever. If you watch Transformers Dark of the Moon, it has some good 3D moments, but not the greatest. Hey, Miss Sung, thanks for joining. If you watch Age of Extinction in 3D, it's also got some moments, but not that great. So, with his movies, we're talking about 3D at the moment, Anarchy. Just about James Cameron and how good he is in 3D. So, if you look at it that way, with Transformers, they're hits and misses. Age of Extinction has better 3D than Dark of the Moon, but there are still some moments in Dark of the Moon that are better than Age of Extinction. Whereas Cameron, there's not one movie that has better 3D than the other. All of his 3D movies, including, according to Roger, there's this one called James Cameron's Deep Sea Dive thing, which is like another underwater documentary. And apparently that has exactly the same amount of 3D as all of his other movies. So they are all equal to another. I got Batman Lego Movie on Blu-ray. Oh, well, congratulations, it's a great movie. Too little happens in Transformers 5 for it to be good in 3D. I haven't seen the movie, so I can't judge. I want to. I'm a massive fan of the Transformers movies. It's what I love them. They're the movies that people can hate, but I actually like. Same goes for the TMNT movies. I'll tell you something though. For people who may not like the modern TMNT movies, I will just give you this. I hated letterbox widescreen 3D movies. I hated it. I felt like I was being cheated out of the enjoyment of 3D by not getting them in full frame. But the TMNT 3D movies proved that you can have just as much excitement and enjoyability from the 3D than you can in full frame. If people turn around to me and said, "What's your best example of letterbox?" It's going to be the TMNT movies. They are beautiful in 3D. They are just ridiculously amazing and enjoyable. So yeah, I do have my favourites from Letterboxd, but I obviously prefer full frame. I grew up with Transformers. I love them. I'm not crazy about the movies, but I'll rewatch 1 to 4 over and over again because I'll watch 5 again, and yet 5 will probably be yeah. It's like me though. I can't stand On Stranger Tides, but I love Jack Sparrow. But I probably will never buy it again in 3D because there's only one 3D moment in that, and that's where the sword comes out. Ghostbusters 3D jumps through the letterbox boundary. Yeah, I actually didn't like that to begin with. I was quite weird about it. I did a review where it was one of the faults I had, but then I'd watched GeForce 3D, and they did a similar thing. Like the guinea pig ball comes out the screen, the fireworks come out over the black bars, and I kind of learnt to appreciate it. But I don't have that. I don't have Ghostbusters in 3D anymore, nor GeForce. I want to get them back. I actually kind of like them now. I want to give Ghostbusters another try. Actually, I actually want to give that another try in 3D because I think there's some 3D movies that I can have. One of the faults are hard. That movie has so many faults. Yeah, but yet again, I actually quite enjoyed the new Ghostbusters. When it comes to movies like that, I see it as an alternate universe. I don't see it set in the same timeline or same universe as the original movie. Even the new reboot of the RoboCop. Now, see that I see as an alternate timeline, but still completely hate. The only reason I own it is because there's one scene that I watch and then I turn the film off, and that's when he drives his bike through the building and he throws the bike while in air, throws the bike at the crappy Ed 209 lookalikes. That's it. I'll watch that bit and then I'll turn it off. But the new Ghostbusters was actually really enjoyable. It surprised me. I thought it was gonna be terrible. Well, that's just it. Right on the screen of it 30 years ago, etc., talking about the original, so it's not in a different universe. I didn't see that. Ghostbusters 3D wasn't that bad. I enjoyed it. You see, but I don't remember. I don't remember it saying 30 years ago. Transformers should be better, but again, yeah, I can see why people has issues with the Transformers movies. I know they're not the greatest of movies, but I actually still enjoy them. And even though they've got their faults, I can still watch them and have fun watching them. They give a reference to the original in the beginning. I liked Ghostbusters. It was doomed before it came out, unfortunately. Do you know what? I actually don't remember them making a reference to the original. I've watched the new Ghostbusters. I've watched that quite a lot, haven't I? The new Ghostbusters. I've watched that quite a lot, and I don't remember that. Oh, don't remember precise what they wrote, but something along those lines. I have to recheck that out now, because I don't remember any references to the originals. The reason I see it as alternate timelines is because they've got the characters from the originals, but with different names and personalities. So that's how I saw it, it's a different timeline. This is where Venkman isn't Venkman. He's this professor that's skeptical. Ray's a cab driver that obviously isn't Ray. You know what I mean? Like, there was a different timeline. Sigourney Weaver was the scientist that helps out Holtzman in the end, and the receptionist was a receptionist at a hotel instead of with the Ghostbusters. So I saw it as a as an alternate timeline story, and that's how I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it that way. Got 20 minutes left on the stream, and then that's when I'm gonna call it a night. I want to show these movies off before the stream ends as well. Actually, I want to show them off. Oh no! What are you watching, if anything, tonight? Oh no, we're hoping to still watch something. Alice said she wanted to watch The Last Crusade with me, and then I put the disc in, and she went, "No, I don't want to watch it yet." So we have to. Hopefully, we can watch that tonight, though. I think it's just the other night we wanted to watch one of the films that I've got here that I'll show, and then we put that on and we watched the uncut version. But it was like 3 in the morning and we had no lights on, and it paranoid her, so we had to turn it off. Going to watch Life. I want to see that. I want to see that and Passengers. Passengers was fun. I haven't. I want to see it. It looks great. Alice said she'd seen it, but she didn't quite like it. But I still want to give it a watch. It looks like a fun movie. I want to see it in 3D. Have you seen it in 3D? If you have, is it good? Is it worth purchasing? Yes and yes. Ah, awesome! It's on my next purchase list for the non-pre-orders. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to get Passengers in 3D. Go watch Red Letter Media hour-long review on Ghostbusters. What was it? I think it's time to watch Kong 3. Oh, you're gonna have so much fun. You're gonna have fun, Trini. I'll probably will watch that review on the Ghostbusters, but I don't think anyone else's hate for that movie is gonna make me not like it. I have to go. Alright, see you, Miss Sung. Thanks for joining. Alright, so I'm gonna just go through these now, get them out of the way actually. Alright, so this was just recently what was like gathered up in the past few weeks, that's all. So as I showed by the first top ones, it's obviously The Present by Roger, it's the Indiana Jones collection. I'm still surprised he even got me these, and I'm really grateful for the fact that he did, because it was about time I did watch these, and I'm kind of happy that I am. It's going to be weird, but I'm also looking forward to watching the special features, which is very strange, because I'm not a big fan of special features. Yeah, it does say 30 years ago, and 4 scientists saved New York in the beginning of the room. Oh, I haven't seen that. It doesn't come up on my Blu-ray. I'll have to recheck that out. Then one of the other things that I gathered up during the weeks is obviously Ghost in the Shell. Now, I was going to sell this the other day, because I as I told you, I was going to sell it the day after it got released on Monday. After watching it, because I hated it. The 3D was great and fantastic, but the movie just felt really dull. But I am going to give it another watch. I'm kind of glad that I didn't just throw it out. Now, these next 3, Mental Movie Man picked up for me. Like, I gave him the... I was trading some stuff in, but I wasn't going out that day. He was going out to go birthday shopping, so I asked if he'd trade my stuff in and get a voucher for me. So he got a voucher, and I asked him to pick up these 3 movies. I've seen all of these before, and I'm happy to have them again. So this is the one that me and Alice was watching. 2010's The Wolfman. Now this is what's starting the whole Universal's monsters coming back. That's why we've got the Mummy film with Tom Cruise. It's also why we got Dracula Untold. I actually really enjoyed this. Benicio del Toro is amazing. Anthony Hopkins is always fantastic. Emily Blunt is just amazing. And Hugo Weaving, you can never go wrong with Hugo Weaving. The Mummy sucked. I haven't seen that, but I by everyone's recommendations, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. Right, the next movie I asked him to pick up was a movie I've seen once and I really enjoyed it. And it's the Edge of Darkness with Mel Gibson. It's a fantastic action kind of movie. Wolfman has nothing to do with the United States. That's not what I'm saying. Like I've made up. This is what like not professionals, but like the makers of the Monsters universe and stuff. According to them, this was what was meant to start it off anyway. Like this was why they made this movie. So I'm only repeating what the people who are talking about the universe said. They said that this is the beginning of that universe. I'm just saying what they said. Yes, and it's also true. There is a great death scene in Edge of Darkness. Now, the third movie out of these three is probably my favourite out of the three, just because of how much it inspired me to watch the more modern version of it, and I loved it. And it's the original Tron. I love this movie. Jeff Bridges is a fantastic actor. Yeah, no, I know it feels weird watching this. It feels weird watching this now after watching Legacy, but it's still fun. Original's fantastic. It looks really weird watching after watching Legacy, but it's still fun. Well, Dracula Untold was also meant to be the beginning, and that idea was scrapped after that bomb too. Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, because a lot of people hated the Wolfman as well. But I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun movie. Great story, great acting. And the cool thing I like about this was it's got something compared to the DVD. It's the extended cut, which comes with the like the full extra 17 minutes, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but it actually adds a lot to this movie. Them 17 minutes spread throughout the whole movie, it looks amazing. I did not like Wolfman, but I did like Dracula. I like both. I think they're great movies, both of them. Now, the last three are what I picked up yesterday morning. It was yesterday morning when me and Alice went out. I'll show the two 3D ones first, and then I'll get onto the last one. Just the last one's my favourite out of the three that I picked up yesterday. So, I saw Roger's video based on this title, and I've always been reluctant to pick up this title. This title was £1.50, and I wanted to see the 3D of it. The modern Conan. I always forget his name. Jason Momoa. So I saw Roger said that it had great 3D, and it's got similar 3D to that Legends of Hercules, which I really enjoyed the 3D and the movie of. So I thought I might as well pick up £1.50. Now I've had this movie before. I even did a part in a video about how much I hated what they did with this. Seen it, but can't remember much of it. I haven't seen it. I've got to watch it. But I've had this one before, and I did enjoy it, but it got lost among a pile of movies that I sold. This was only £2, so I'm glad to get this one back as well. Drive Angry. Now, I don't know if anyone agrees with me, but Nicolas Cage's character in this is who he should have been in Ghost Rider. Right? He should have played this character in the first Ghost Rider. Because when I hear Ghost Rider, I think of this guy's character. Not Johnny Blaze's character, this guy. I love this guy. But it's actually a really enjoyable movie, and the 3D for this is fantastic. He shouldn't have been in Ghost Rider, period. No, I don't know. I couldn't see anyone else playing Ghost Rider, though. He kind of... Because he's got the weird, twisted attitude. And I like that Drive Angry is 3D audio. Nick Cage is like that in real life, I think. Yeah. But I like that attitude. It did suit Ghost Rider. It's just... The only thing I didn't like about Ghost Rider was the whole... What are you doing here? It's just like, why are you pointing at the devil? You don't point and ask calmly what you're doing here. I'm sorry, but if the devil popped up in front of me and tried to make a deal, I'd probably poo myself. I'd be terrified. You don't talk and point at the devil, you scream. I'm stupid. I don't want to make a deal. He has my soul. Oh no! Alan's the Ghost Rider. Run! Run! Do you know what? I actually love Ghost Rider. I'm sorry. I love it. I even have the extended cut Blu-ray of. I don't like the second one. I love the first one, and it's on my shelf. And I feel bad 'cause I know a lot of people hate it, but I'm a massive fan of that movie. I love the bit where he's got the chain around the helicopter and he's like, "You're pissing me off," and the guy in the chopper's just going, "I'm sorry." It's like, yeah, you would be. And when he rides his bike down the side of the building, that's awesome. First one is good, second one not so much. No, it's true, the second one's so... And I don't like the fact that they messed around with his bike. I like in the first one, when he changed his bike, it had the devil's face and the flames. In this one, it's just a bike, but it's just rusty with flames. Like, why? And the way he changed... Yeah... Although, the only thing that I loved about the second Ghost Rider is when towards the end he gets the blue flames. Because it turns out he's actually an angel, not a demon. They're Marvel movies. So, I have both steelbooks, but yeah... I don't really care for either one. Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as much, but I've not seen that, so... But I can probably agree. Now, this is my favourite out of the three that was bought yesterday. Not just because it's a great movie, and not just because it's got an actor who is now deceased, but done a fantastic job in this. It's also because the sleeve, not the slipcover, the sleeve itself is amazing. 50 Shades. No. No. Alice wants to see 50 Shades. I absolutely point blank refuse. It just looks... It looks like a very weakened down non-vampire version of Twilight. And I kind of like Twilight. Yeah. No, it's actually a fantastic movie. And I just love the sleeve because I'll show you why. It's the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. I actually really enjoyed this movie. It's one of the last movies that Heath Ledger ever done, to the point where he couldn't even complete filming it. They had to get Johnny Depp, Jude Law, and Colin Farrell to step in and help do his scenes. Now, I walked in and saw this, and it was £2, and I've wanted to get this movie on Blu-ray for so long. And look, I'll show you why I like it. I'll show you why I like it. Oh no! No! Don't fall on the floor! I love you! Look. It's a very shiny sleeve! Look! If anyone knows where I can find paper like this, like plain silver holographic paper that hasn't got this on it, if anyone knows where I can get stuff like this, let me know, because I would love to print sleeves on this kind of paper. Look at the shine on it. It's beautiful. Look at that. It's fantastic. So it was that, and it was in a brand new case as well, and the disc is in perfect condition. There wasn't even so much as a fingerprint on the disc. I was so happy. It was £2 very well spent, and I actually really enjoyed the movie. It is a great deal. I was really impressed with this. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just really happy with all these movies. Like these past week or two. I know it's not a lot of movies, but in fairness, it technically is. I mean, there's 4 movies in this box set, so that's 4. That's 11 movies in total of 2 weeks, and that's still quite alright for me. It's now trying to get them on the shelf. But good news is I've got new printer ink coming, so individual sleeves for these movies will be printed. And once that's done, I can actually put all the movies on the shelf and have them individually to make the collection look even bigger. You are addicted, and the evidence is in your hands. It's true. It's true. I've got the blues, man. I've got the blues. But I enjoy it. I enjoy collecting as well. I know sometimes collecting can be a bit tough and money can get in the way and there's always issues. But I enjoy it. It's so much fun and exciting and there's just so much love for it. And I go out and I've got a little bit of money and I'll just see a movie that I really enjoy and I was like, I might as well get it. And I mean, in fairness, I live in the smack bang middle of East London, so I'm surrounded by the worst kind of stuff you could be hooked on. The fact that I'm hooked on movies is such a great life choice compared to what my life choices could have been. I'm happy. I was going to do a video based on some custom sleeves that I'd made. So I want to ask you guys, is anyone actually interested in seeing a video based on some custom sleeves that I've made for movies? Like, or does that not sound appealing to anybody? Because to me it doesn't sound like it's an appealing video, but I want to do it. Okay, well, Alan says yes, that's good, that's a start. Because there's not many, but it's just like there's certain sleeves that I'm not happy with. Like, for example, as I'm printing off individual sleeves for the Indiana Jones movies, including an individual sleeve for the bonus disc, just like I've done with Star Wars. Which, yet again, I love. Where is it? No, that's the wrong one. Like, I printed off this, like, bonus features one. And it's just where, like, I can still have it. I've actually made a reversion of this sleeve though, which I probably won't add in the video, but I've redone the spine so it actually matches the collection because I think I made, like, this one was way too big and it looks weird. But I've redone it. But I just, like, I want to do certain sleeves for certain movies, for stuff like the Italian version of Beowulf, either the French or Swedish version of Harlock, Space Pirate, and Spy Kids and Sharkboy and Lava Girl, because they're in the 2-case US set. I wanted them to have their own individual sleeves, so I've made customs for that. Which is why I'm saying, if anyone knows where I can get that kind of holographic paper, please let me know, because I would love to print a Sharkboy and Lava Girl sleeve on that kind of paper. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say no. If you have OCD with the cases, I have OCD with everything having to be original. Making your covers, etc. is absolutely pointless to me. No, I do agree with that. I love the original sleeves to movies. I like the idea of that. But it's the fact that I like also having sleeves on my shelf that I can read. I like having sleeves on my shelf that when I can take it off. Because sometimes I'll do that in movies. Sometimes I'll take it, even though if I've seen the movie, I'll take it off the shelf and I'll read that bit of information on the back and it will make me kind of sway into watching it. I'll be kind of like, alright, I'll watch it. You know, and it feels weird, like, on my shelf, like, certain titles will be in, like, different languages and different texts, and I'm like, I can't remember what that movie is because I can't read it, and I have to take it off the shelf, and then, you know, so I'd rather just print out the ones that I know I can read and see, and it'd be just easier. Plus, as I said, it makes the collection look a bit bigger and a bit more, like, neater. Like, for example, I don't mind I don't mind the fact of it being in this kind of set. But having one massive chunky case alongside a bunch of smaller cases looks really weird. Whereas it's 4 movies and a bonus disc in 5 separate cases, it just looks right, it matches. But I'm still gonna keep this sleeve in this case and still yeah. I'm gonna actually put this box when I can. I'm gonna put the whole case like set with the sleeve on top of the bookcase as a reminder of how amazing this gift was. But I won't just print sleeves to every single movie. Like I'm not that kind of person. I'll only print sleeves to movies that kind of need the new artwork and the new print. Yeah, you have the re-release of Indie. Original didn't come in a blue case. Oh, I think I know what you mean. Like the original came in that kind of like foldy book thing, didn't it? I think. I'm still grateful for the box set. I'm still grateful to have it. I just want to get some individual cases so I can appreciate the movies individually. I'll stream for another 5 minutes and then it's gonna end. Yeah, I repurchased the indie set to have them in separate cases. Yeah, see, yeah. I said it's the same with the Star Wars movies. I loved the Darth Vader collection box set. Out of the 2 box sets of Star Wars, the Darth Vader set was my favourite. But I had to print off. Only way I would do that was if I was able to get the steelbooks. But people do that. But I had to make some custom sleeves. I mean, the one that CEX made for my Shrek collection, which I showed, that horrible brown faded. I had to try and find a new one for that because that was terrible. But I've got Beowulf. I've got a Lost Boys one because I've got Lost Boys in the steelbook. But as you know, I'm not a big fan of steelbooks, and the steelbook gets scratched so easily. So I'm gonna put it into an actual case. I've got a Harlock one. I've even done an improvement on my Electric Dreams ones yet. And I've actually found a way to do inside artwork on the custom sleeves. I found a way to print on both sides and make it look even, which I'm looking forward to doing because I've got inside artwork for the Indiana Jones movies. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to doing it. By the way, actually, Alan, I want to say thank you because Omar had sent me a custom sleeve for Titanic, and when I printed it, it came out good, but there was certain writing on the back that I just couldn't see. Then I decided to go and find an alternative artwork that I was going to print. But due to watching your video, your tease, which I'm really thankful you put up, I saw that you had just trimmed the unnecessarily longish parts of the sleeve to make it fit, and I didn't realize I could have just trimmed that set. So thank you, because I've done that, and now I don't have to print the new one. You see. Wait, let me get back up the comments, because I'm missing some. Take sets like 007, 50, yeah, Anniversary Friday the 13th, or heck, even Lord of the Rings. They all have awesome packaging. Again, absolutely pointless. Shame to do new covers. Yeah, but I can't... I can't put them on my shelf next to standard Blu-ray cases. It just looks weird to me. I mean, for example, it's like having these 3 on the shelf and then putting this in between, and then it's like that, and I just feel really, really unnecessarily, I feel like weird. I can't have it like that. To me, that just feels, it just feels weird. But it's not just that though. I'm the same with the circle and square cases in the UK. That's how bad my OCD can be with that. That's why I have square cases for 3D movies. And I'll just show this again because I know there's people that's confused by what I mean. So these are the what I call square cases. They've got like the pointy kind of corners, so they're like equally squared here. And then you've got these circle corner cases, which you can see obviously are more curved. So compared to the squarer ones. So I use these ones for 2D movies and these ones for 3D, so I can define the collection separately. Wait, OCD 10.0. It's true though, my OCD is terrible for it, but it's what makes me like my collection, is that my collection feels like a collection when they're all in equal kind of cases. I do feel weird that movies are in slim cases. I'm not particularly keen on slim cases being next to the regular cases, but the slim cases you can kind of get around. Because they're slightly thinner, you can add more movies to each shelf. Whereas the thicker cases take up more space for just one movie. I can put 3 thin case movies on one shelf, which is the same size as the big square case, well, the bigger cases. So I can put 3 movies on my shelf, which will take up this. And then that way, I've got 3 extra movies on my shelf, and then not just the big one or the couple in the box where I can put them separately. Like, if that makes more sense. That's why I like it. I was trying to just find an example of one of my custom sleeves that I've made and that I've shifted together just to show. I mean, noise outside. No. Actually, I'll show you what I mean by the Star Wars one. But if you take the Indians and make them have their own thick cases, makes up way more space than the body. No, I can see where you'd say that, but it doesn't in a way if you think about it, because 3 of those movies will take up the same space. Yeah, fair enough. All 5 discs are in the one case. I understand that. So there'll be 2 extra cases, but because they're thinner, I get to have all 5 on the shelf, like separately, and have the collection looking great. So, I'll try and show you the example of what I meant about the Star Wars. Okay. So, this is how all the Star Wars spines look. If I can get it right. Off now to watch Life of the Wife. See you all later and thanks for the stream. Oh no, thank you Alan for joining. It was great to talk to you. I put all my box sets on top and bottom shelf. See, I can't have box sets though, I feel weird. But if you look what I said about the spine, where it says Star Wars, that case there, at the moment, is the same size as 2 UK cases. This is for... Yeah, but my Indiana Jones movies and the Star Wars are all in the thin US cases. See? They're in the thinner cases. Look, I'll even show you. Because for some reason, these Star Wars movies actually look a lot better in the thinner cases than they did in the UK cases. But, so as you can see what I mean by the bonus features, the Star Wars doesn't look right compared to next to the actual collection. The collection all have matching spines, so they've all got this spine, whereas the bonus features has this. And you're not OCD about that. Well, that makes sense. No, I said I don't particularly like the thinner cases. I do have issues with these, but it's easier to understand. It's easier to understand the problem with these. It's easier to understand how to work with these cases because they're thinner. Because these are thinner cases than the big chunky ones, these take up less space. So because these take up less than more, I can work with these. But because the bigger cases take up more space, I'm not a big fan of them. I can't have them on the shelf. It's all very weird. My OCD works in weird ways. Not every OCD that I have is linked, so it's kind of complicated. But I've improved the spine for this now. So this one's not going to look like this anymore. It's going to look a lot better. And like you say, he's got the Steelbook Star Wars. That's awesome. Alright, the stream's going to end here now, guys. It went on for a little bit longer than it was supposed to, so I'm kind of glad, though, because it's nice always talking to you guys, and it's always nice to have conversations and just get into topics that are going to make us annoyed with ourselves and each other, but then to still realise that we're all part of the same community. We all have similarities and you know, we all have similarities and we all have differences, but that's what makes us unique collectors. Is we're not always going to have the same movies, we're not always going to like the same movies, and we're not always going to have the same collections, and we're not always going to have the same design of collections. So it makes me happy to know that there are going to be differences. The whole point of my collection is that it's my collection, it fits to my needs, it suits my personality, and it looks like the collection belongs to me. That's how I like it, that's how I love it. That's why my 3D movies will always be the first set of movies you see on my shelf. It'll always go 3D movies, then Disney, then Marvel, then so on and so forth. It goes always that way. And I love it being that way. It suits who I am. It suits my needs. It's important categories go first. You know, and then it goes down into the not so important categories. So that is it. That is the end of the stream. I really, really hope you guys did have fun. And it was nice talking to you all. And, you know, 3D, woohoo! 3D rules. Anyway, that is it. Just take care, everybody, and I will see you guys for the future reviews of Indiana Jones and for future videos. Take care.